Hey, Ted.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Awesome. You're on Unleashing Your Potential with Coach Ted
Coach
Bogart.
Ted. Listen, I love the way that sounds. First of all, that intro gets you going. I feel motivated. I'm dan-
Oh,
I'm dancing in the background. I'm thinking that is a really good intro. So, yeah.
well, it's very swashbuckling. I think of like Pirates of the Caribbean. We're coming in.
Yes.
Yeah,
I like though. It's good for a Monday, isn't it?
yeah. It's a little Jack Sparrow going on with that song. I kind of feeling it. Maybe you need a rum in your hand.
Oh, next time that is what we're gonna do. That's a great idea. Uh,
Oh my gosh,
Ron, I'm excited. I'm excited that we're actually live. We're live this time. I'm
we are
excited
live.
about that. Very excited about unleashing your potential. I think this is such a great concept, and I love what you've done, Yvonne. So I can't give you enough shout outs and thanks for all you do for all of us coaches and people in general.
Oh, I appreciate you being aboard with Leverage 365 and offering people, the guidance and the tools and your wisdom that's going to help them take their business to the next level. So some of the things I wanted to talk to you about, if you're open to doing so, is let us know if you can share with us like people that you've coached. What's been the experience with that, and what are some of the challenges that you've helped to help them overcome?
Well, I think there's universal ones, and then there are some that obviously are specific to the person's need. I think we all have this universal. We want to grow. We have this. I think everybody in their spirit somewhere has entrepreneurial shipness. Is that even a word? You guys Google it.
Sure.
I feel like there are people want to do better, be better, grow. They want to have more for their life, and they want to do. Hey, Rose. They want to do more with their life and more with what their business is. They have these visions. And so I think that's a universal thing. And then I think when you get to the nitty gritty with people, it's all about where they're coming from. Baggage is more of a psychology term, but we all have these preconceived notions, not only about our business, but about ourselves and how to do business. And I feel like that's when you get to the nitty gritty. So I recently had one. This particular one is a realtor, and the realtor said, I was a multi-million dollar producer year and a half, 2 years ago, kind of coasted in 2023, and I don't have any more place to coast. I'm about to go right off the cliff. And so our conversation first was, where did your business come from? Where did your business come from in 2020, 2021, 2022? Was it all just the order taking rush that we had? And we really kind of went and identified where she got the business from. And it was fascinating to me because I feel like she had never even looked at that. She was just in such go mode that she had never really sat down and worked with somebody and kind of looked back at each client and where they came from. So we identified that. And then we looked at the things that she did before the rush. I wanted to know what her because she's been in it quite a while. Wanted to know what her marketing was prior to that. And honestly, hers was basic 101, old school. I know you all that are new hate to hear that, but old school, keeping in contact, personalized notes, client appreciation. So we went through all of the things that worked for her prior to this unnatural boom that we had starting in 2020 for a couple of years. And then we looked at what she did last year. And what happened last year was she did absolutely nothing. And I mean that. I mean, she did nothing. Yes, 2023 was rough all over the place, Rose. You're right. But what she did was get paralyzed, analysis paralysis. And so we went through and looked at any activity that she did and anything that had a spark. And honestly, there wasn't anything. Why? Because she was so caught up in why am I not producing the way that I should have been producing, and focusing solely on the lack instead of focusing on the abundance, which we talk about a lot when we coach. And so what we did is we just used that as a wash. We all have a bad day. Maybe it's a bad month. Maybe it's a bad year if you want to sing the Friends song. I mean, I don't know. But I feel like for her, she at least had to recognize why. And then once we realized, hey, you were super successful before all of this. Let's try to go back to some of those things. We wrote out a plan, talked about the things that she could do one step at a time. Because remember, you're learning to walk again. You got trained to be an order taker, and now you have to be a hunter. You have to be a developer, a curator. And so we sat down and came up with some ideas. And it's funny, this was January. So I got a message from her probably in the last couple of weeks. We obviously communicate quite a bit, but she said, "Oh my God, I got 2 referrals from written." I don't know if she sent out Valentine. She sent out some card in February, and she got 2 referrals. And one of the people she spoke to said, "I'm so glad you reached out. We've been thinking about it, but we haven't heard from you since we did our closing." So that's one of the real estate ones that I have been working with and seen some great results with.
I love that. Yeah, that's exactly, when I'm talking to my clients, it's, they want to know why things are the way they are. And they usually will find some kind of, I'm going to use the word, I'm sorry, excuse. It's always going to be
We're
some
not
excuse.
sorry. It is an excuse.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And, it's about that, well, the market was bad and this was bad and that was bad. But I have agents who had their best year, with last year in 2023,
Yeah.
and they have less experience. They may have only been in the business for 2 years, 3 years. They come from different, they're a school teacher, or they were in healthcare, but they had their best year. Why? Because they didn't know any better. I hate to say it. They did what they were told,
Yes.
and they just put their nose to the grindstone. It's not sexy. Real estate isn't sexy. It's not selling sunset. It's not about putting on the outfit, having the right, makeup, the hair, and then the right car, the right shoes, the right purse, and then you're going to make, money. It's not about that. It's about the work that goes on day in, day out, 7 days a week, right? It's about being purposeful with everything you do and say. Even, like I said, if you're on a vacation, you're going to make sure that there's some kind of conversation that comes up. If you're at the bar having a drink, you're going to have that conversation. You're going to make it happen. So not everyone had the worst year. Was it a majority? Maybe. But do you want to be the majority, or do you want to be the ones who are excelling? Those who do, action begets action. Simple, right? But I
Rose,
love that. Ted has his own sunset outfits and shoes. Yes,
you are
he
not
does.
wrong, Rose.
You can have it both, right? You can have both worlds. Absolutely. I love that. So, what about you working with international people and businesses, and what does that look like?
It's funny because when I posted that and I said I wanted that to be part of my coaching, and we kind of hinted at it, a lot of people are like, "I didn't know you did business internationally." And it's funny because it's just one of those things that I did, but didn't make a splash about. And I consulted with people. I probably used the word consulted back in the day prior to the word coaching, but it definitely is a unique group of individuals. And I think that you really have to be enmeshed in it. And so I built that group of people, those people that I coach, via LinkedIn. LinkedIn has been a very powerful connector when it comes to doing international business. And I'll share one of the people that I'm working with right now. He is he's a social media SEO kind of person. Well, if you've been on LinkedIn, you absolutely know that there's a million of them, and you're going to get hit up for them 1,000 times over. And God forbid you put out your WhatsApp number, or you're really going to get hit. So my thing to him, I vetted him. I looked at him. I looked where his contacts were. I made sure this wasn't some made up thing. I really did my research with him. And then I said, I just want you to forget everything that you were taught on how to reach out to Americans and how to do business. I want you to completely get rid of the canned speeches that you have and join Aura's Global Council. Gotta love Rose. I love it, Rose. Yes, join Aura's Global Council. It's amazing if you want to do business all over the world. But he had this canned approach to things, and it's because he was fearful to get into a market that he wasn't familiar with. What I have been working with him is to focus on the things that he knows he's good at, that he can provide real documentable backup that, hey, I did accomplish this with my clients. I did. If you want to keep getting what you're getting, keep doing what you're doing. Ray Stewart, good morning, good afternoon. I don't know what it is, but happy Monday. It's good to see you there. And he said, but Ted, I've never done that before. I've just kept it in my, and I've sent I go, forget all of that. There's a million of you right now that are doing that. Let's focus on the processes that are going to separate you out. And then I also said, you have to approach American business owners and entrepreneurs in a different way with a different voice. And so we worked very hard on his language and curating the language that he would utilize when he reached out and the methodologies that he would use, because it is different than you are taught in whatever country you're doing business in. When you do business here, when you're working with people here, we have this entrepreneurial spirit amongst us, and we can smell a rat a mile away, and we can smell somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, but they're trying to get us to spend money, and they just want us to send them their Venmo and PayPal. Listen, we erased all of that and started fresh. And so that, to me, for somebody who wants to do business in the US, any of my contacts that I work with overseas, we always start with, okay, let's wipe out what you're used to doing in your country or in wherever part of the world you are, and let's focus on what I know works in the States.
Absolutely. We got Remax in the house.
Remax in the house for sure.
Well, and I agree. It's about being sensitive, to the culture and specifically the vibe of Orlando. I want to really hammer home that Orlando, and I know Rose is probably going to jump in on this, is that Orlando is a global melting pot. It is where every country comes to either vacation or invest. It's very, very unique. It's like a New York. It's like a Los Angeles. Okay. Yes, we technically, we absolutely live in our own Epcot. We are the future. We are the past. We are a culmination of nations. This is where Ted, he is the unelected mayor of Orlando. Nothing against Buddy Dyer, but Ted is the man. So if you're going to work with someone, you're going to want to work with him because, as Reese is saying, Orlando is a destination city.
True.
And who else better to help someone who is not familiar or not as savvy with the inner workings. Ted's got connections. He knows a lot of people. He is embedded in this community. So he is, he's working as a consultant. He's working as a coach to help people with overseas desires to come into this market and make their mark. He's the person who's going to be the liaison, the advocate, and the guide. So
thank you. I think you're right, Rose and Reese. I think what I also want to clarify, I just want to kind of point out is that I do obviously I'm enmeshed in a real estate world too, but I have so many more connections than that. And I'm enmeshed in a lot of different businesses, and I serve on committees and councils, and my background, even my educational, thanks Rose, even my educational background is diverse. It's finance and hospitality. And hospital administration. It's a nonprofit. It's business consulting. I've owned my own companies. Everything that you could want to do here, I have touched in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how you read all that.
It's too many to read. It's so tiny. But this is Ted's list of who his affiliations and who he's worked with and just how he's contributed is so long that the print is tiny. So, it's about knowing who you're working with, and trust is an important part. People work with people that they trust. And Ted is the person that you're going to, obviously have that with, but you're going to also have the benefit of his wisdom, and 30 years of, being someone who's a go-to resource. So, I'm really excited about Ted being a coach and a consultant with Leverage 365, and we're really, we're launching. This is like, the maiden voyage after all the years of fortifying, the hull of the ship. This ship is, sailing. You better get on board, right?
And
Uh,
that's
so
like being like Ted. I love it, Rose. Yeah, I want people to. Thank you. You guys are so good to me. I want people to be able to benefit from it. I mean, it is a journey, and I have been on many paths in many businesses in many roles, and I have served on many committees where I have access to a lot of people and their database and their wisdom and their knowledge. And Yvonne talks about this in some of her classes. If you think about the one person you have, that person has people, and it's this exponential growth of resources. And at my level, at this time in my life, I have no problem for the right people, coaching clients, to reach out to the people who I know could help them. And because we've built that trust, and because I have built that trust with people in and around Central Florida, I 100% can reach out, and they know that it's for a real reason and not just a fake kind of, oh my God, I need help with this. You know, the type of people that do that. So I tap into my resources as needed, and I have a lot of them, and I'm here to share. That's what the coaching is all about.
Absolutely. So, Ted, what is the one thing that people continuously, maybe if there's on average, ask you more so than not about their businesses, and that you hear it over and over?
That I hear over and over. Well, people compare a lot. So I get the first thing people always say to me is, I could never do what you do. I could never be out and about like you are. I don't know how you do it all. And so a lot of times the very beginning conversation is all about expectations of time management and time blocking. And I know that's simple, and I know that's 101, and I know that goes back to basics. But if you have a large, big view like I do, I'm the ethereal type, right? I'm the vision kind of person. You have to have steps and calendars and things that keep you in the loop, and a pathway or a journey, I think Rose mentioned earlier. You have to understand the steps of that. I'm not a micromanage kind of person. I know, but I know what my day looks like, and I know what I want to accomplish that day. And every single day I wake up, like if somebody says to me, hey, Ted, somebody did yesterday, they said, can we meet at 12? And I said, I cannot. I have a standing 1 o'clock, and Mondays are my days where I film and do content. You have to be in control of your time. And once you get a handle of control on your time, then we can begin to build a process. But if you just want to do 400 things and you're all over the place, and you have no idea the organization that goes behind it, then you're just going to be out there. It's going to be a free fall. So people always ask me how I do it, and I talk almost always about time management in the beginning.
Absolutely. Time management is very, very important. If you have an appointment with your coach, and I speak for myself, but you don't come to that session because something else has popped up, you lose that session. That's because I set aside that time for you. You set that time aside for me. And unless something catastrophic has happened, of course, mitigating circumstances will be taken into consideration. But, you have to do for you. You have to invest in you first. You have to put the oxygen mask on you first so that you can save everyone else. You can help everyone else. So if you have a appointment with your coach, and that is which is going to be to invest in your business to take you to the next level so you can help even more people, you need to be there. You have to show up. So time management plus accountability is a winning combination, but you can really, holding yourself accountable is not something that any human being really is good at doing. So whether it's if you have a partner such as a coach, that person is going to be the person who's going to keep you on the straight and narrow. It's going to review why you don't have time. There has to be somebody who's on your side. So that's a person like Ted. Ted's going to be that accountability partner who's going to say, you know what, you wanted this. I can't want it more than you. And of course, like as he said, like the song goes, Ted will be there for you.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, we wrap that song in there. I like it.
There you go. So thank you so much, Ted. We look forward to. I know you have a campaign coming out, a little bit of information for people who are going to now see more so that your coaching services are available. So be on the lookout for that. Share it with other people that who may be in need of working with Ted. We appreciate the shares and the likes and the comments. So we look forward to seeing Ted every Monday at 1:00 live streaming on his channels. And please take a moment, go to that QR code. It's a 15-minute discovery call. You'll have that with me. We'll see if it's a good fit. His program with you. You need to give yourself that 15 minutes. You deserve that 15 minutes.
Give
You
yourself
deserve to
that.
grow.
You absolutely do. Give yourself that time. Because I feel like this is a great year. 2024 is already been amazing so far, and it's only the beginning of March. And I just feel like so many of you have this untapped potential that we're going to unleash, not to get all cliche with the title here, but it's true. And I think you just need to take that time for yourself and be your own best advocate. And what better way to do it than to coach with me? Let me coach you. Let me help you. Let me guide
That's
you.
right. We're entering the end. This is the first quarter. This is the third month of the first quarter. When are you going to do this? When are you going to start? Right? There's never a better time than today. So take that moment, go to that QR code, set that appointment, and let's get you to where you need to be. You only have, how many months left? 2025, right? So it's insane. It's going to be here before you know it. So looking forward to seeing you next Monday, Ted, and I'll see you at our events as well.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
Have a great week too.
Bye. Yeah. Bye.